Hello again and welcome to today's reflection on Psalm 8. Let's begin with a prayer. Lord, be with us in our thinking and our reflecting. Speak to our hearts and our minds. Amen. Looking at Psalm 8 and beginning with verse 1. O Yahweh our Lord, how glorious is your name in all the earth. Your majesty is praised high as the heavens. And the very final verse of the psalm ends with the first sentence of that first verse. O Yahweh our Lord, how glorious is your name in all the earth. So the psalm begins and it ends with worship. Now, what is worship? I remember reading a book a good number of years ago in the University Library in Aberdeen, written by an atheist, and his first chapter was looking at this whole thing to do with worship. And he asked the question, what kind of insecure God needs the worship of human beings? The whole thought seemed ridiculous to him. And secondly, what kind of people are religious people? Are they a bunch of sycophants that they want to worship this deity? And I was mindful of Frankie Howerd, the late comedian, when I read that passage, because he used to have a wee routine where he would be doing this for the applause and then stop it and more, and it was quite funny. And that image came to mind of God doing that regarding human worship. But of course that's totally to misunderstand what worship actually is. Worship means worthship. It's giving something or someone their worth. And in the scriptures, worship is the overflow of the thankful heart. The overflow of the thankful heart. Now the psalmist in Psalm 8, we'll see as we go through it, is looking at the wonder of nature and going, wow. And of course that leads to worship. The overflow of the thankful heart. It can also be something that comes out of relief of being delivered from some kind of difficulty and feeling that God was involved in that. Or it can come about because we count our blessings and we realise how fortunate we are. And we want to be grateful and thankful, express our thanks to God for these things. So worship can be a mood changer as well, because when we reflect on things, we realise, hey, we've got a lot to be thankful for. So worship in that context is very different from the way that atheist understood it. Now, the first verse talks about, O Yahweh our Lord, and Yahweh is often translated as Jehovah, although that's not quite right in the sense of a transliteration from the Hebrew, but leave that alone just now. So Yahweh is the name of God revealed to Moses in Exodus chapter 3, where God is asked by Moses for his name. And Yahweh is the name that was given. And it's a mysterious name. I won't go into that just now, because if I was looking at Exodus chapter 3, I would explore that in more detail. But it's the unique covenant name for the people of Israel. They called their God Yahweh. And the name Jesus is actually from the Hebrew, and it means Yahweh saves. So there's a connection between the psalmist here and his use of the word Yahweh and the name given to Moses and then the name revealed in its full extent through Jesus. So this is a very particular God, the God of Israel and the God of the Christian church, a particular God. Now that brings questions and problems. It was Pascal, the great French mathematician, who said that he believed in the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, not in the God of the philosophers. Not the academic, intellectual, distant God, but a God who's hands-on, a God who was involved in bringing the scriptures into being, bringing the nation of Israel into being, and the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. A God who was earthy, a God who was involved with his creation, not a God who was distant. And when we think of the way sometimes people see God today, I'll give you a wee story. David Attenborough, I saw a clip where he was talking about a filming expedition they were on, and they'd taken the top off an ant's nest and they were looking at the workings of the ant's nest. And he remembered thinking, is this how God sees humanity? That God is looking down and he sees all the work and sees us running about doing things. And in a sense, the ants didn't know he was there or that he was doing that. And David Attenborough was thinking, well, maybe this is how we're not aware of God looking at us, but maybe he is. And many people are okay with that. They're not atheists. They maybe say, yeah, but there's maybe something behind, something or someone behind the universe. But that's as far as it goes. Faith would want to have both. And in that sense, I would want to qualify what Pascal said, that I believe both in the God of the philosophers, the intellectual God, the God of the physicists, the God that David Attenborough refers to. I believe in that God, the transcendent God behind all things. But I also believe that that God has revealed himself through the people of Israel and through Jesus Christ. He's also a hands-on God. So we have the universal, but we also have the particular. And that is something worth celebrating. So when we refer to God, we refer to God with a capital G, not a small g. God, the God of the Bible, is not one of the gods of the ancient peoples, many gods with small g's, but the God who is transcendent and behind all things and above all things. But he's also the God of Moses, the God of the psalmist, the God of Jesus, the God who is earthed in the realities and particularities of human experience. The psalmist God in this psalm is the creator of the universe. But that creator of the universe, because it's Yahweh, is also the shepherd of his people. May the creator and the good shepherd walk with us this day and all the days of this week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and God bless you.